Welcome to the Temple of Flame.
On today, Faith Blacklights, we take a look at this. And once again from Captain Mowatt, this is the Fuzz, the peach hot pepper sauce. We got some luscious peaches here. It looks like maybe a red jalapeno. Is that a lime? Maybe a lime. Is there a lime? Oh, a lime juice whirl. Wow, I didn't. Up until this moment, I didn't know there was lime in there. Oh, that which burns the lips, frees the mind. So, yeah. There's a lot of things that could burn the lips. I don't think they all free the mind. Okay, so we have peaches, red chili peppers, I'll get into those in a minute, orange juice, cider vinegar, brown sugar, lime juice, molasses, sea salt, ginger, spices, xanthan gum, and Maine seaweed. So the chili peppers are red jalapeno, cayenne, and bird's eye. That is from the makers. So I mean it doesn't matter what proportion, those are just the ones that are in there. Individually they're not very hot. Collectively they're not going to be very hot. As I said in the written review, this to me more than anything strikes me as almost a savory peach sauce, if that makes any kind of sense at all. You got some really cool umami stuff, a little bit on the side with the seaweed. Does not bear on the flavor here, but there is a sense of the savory to this sauce, which is kind of wild to me considering, you know, we got orange juice and peaches and brown sugar and molasses. The ginger, I suspect, is probably in here as a powdered form, but this is a very nice sauce. You can see I've kind of been cranking through there a little bit. I believe it's, 8 fluid ounce bottle. So I probably had a good 3 ounces or so. And I've tried this on a number of different things. I think I had this on pizza as well. I'm not really a fan of peach on pizzas, so it's really interesting to me that you have, there's peach there to be sure, but there's also a good sense of the astringent and the savory, like I said before. This is a really wild sauce. I think probably to this point, this might be my favorite of all the Captain Mowatts I've had so far. And there still are a couple. I still got a couple on deck, so depending on when you're seeing this, in the Q2 2025 update on my blog, I talked a little bit about sauce consumption over the course of the year, so you can check there if you're interested in my ruminations on that. But yeah, I mean, it looks really good. Nice sort of vibrant orange. It's almost a very ripe peach, maybe an apricot almost color to this. I think it looks really good. I really like the visual of this sauce. And little red flecks in there from the peppers. Let's get on into it. Like my man, the great and mighty Roger Dam says, I too am perfectly partial to peaches. And the peach flavor, this would be a less interesting sauce if peaches weren't so forward in the mix. But they are very present. And then you kind of get some of the underlying bits of Got a little bit of pepper skin or a seed or something there. You get into the underlying sort of richness from the molasses and the brown sugar, but it's all got a sort of very definite savory note to it. It is really interesting to me. I think a lot of the time when people want to do a peach sauce, they tend towards the sweet, and to be completely honest, that's 100% what I would do. This one, they've kind of sort of forged their own path. I think it's really, really nice what they did here. And definitely this is one you want to agitate, though, quite a bit, even with the xanthan gum, because if you don't, you can get sort of an overpowering of the astringent nature of this, and for me anyway, I don't love that side of it. All right, so I got here a chicken tendy. And it's a very nice, you can see a very nice medium thick sauce here, very smooth. It pours like a champ. It's got enough of a bite to notice, I would say. It is by no means overpowering in the slightest. It is a very flavorful sauce. I really enjoyed this quite a bit. Just not on pizza. I mean, it's not astringent enough that you could use it to cut the richness of Alfredo bake, for instance. It definitely has its limits as a fruit-based sweet hots. They all do. With bitter fruit in particular, for me anyway, I like them in honestly kind of fairly narrow applications. So more lighter meat, that type of thing. Although I don't really love it on pork. But on chicken, it's excellent. You know, honestly, turkey as well. I think peach and turkey can go well together. So, like I was saying, fruit-based sweet hots does open up another possibility. And that is, you guessed it, that of desserts. So I was going to get some peach pie, and I couldn't find any peach pie. So what I got shortbread, peaches and cream, ice cream. I was going to have a peach pie with ice cream. Now I don't have to do that. I can just have the best of both worlds here in this limited edition. Private selection, shortbread, peaches, and cream. Ice cream. The things, I was wandering around the store when I found there was no peach pies. I was like, what am I going to do? You know, oftentimes, I'll set what I want to do in a given video, and then I'll go to the grocery store during my weekly trips and try to find it. Make sure I have it. You know, if I don't have it at hand. And so I'm wandering into the store going, well, maybe I should do like a peach yogurt. I haven't done that on the channel, I don't think. I don't know how good that would be. I've never tried mixing hot sauce into yogurt. So at some future point, I probably will attempt that. But let me get a baseline here. Ooh, wow, this is really good. It tastes a bit fake peach. It's like a peach gel in here. It's good though. Let me get a little bit. Let me get a little bit more. Wait. Probably hear the shortbread right there. Wow. This is pretty nice. I'm gonna be honest. This is a really good base for this. All right. Well, I don't want to go too hog wild here, so I'm just gonna. I'll show you. I'm just going to see. I'm just gonna cover the top. So this is going to be the second peach sort of gelish layer here. Let's see how it goes. This is much saltier. Right off the bat, much saltier. Wow, that's almost jarring. I like salt in ice cream, a little bit of salt. Salted caramel. Jesus. Salted chocolate. This is two things that taste really good separately, but they are not melding like at all. This sauce is just, it's honestly, it's not sweet enough for this. My ask here is too high. Way too high. Way too high. Well, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah. I ran into the same issue, actually. I did try this already on peach pie. I ran into the same thing. It clashes. I do find the idea of savory peach fascinating, though. And part of it's because this is very clearly artificial. It says naturally flavored, but I don't know about that. It is a very hyper sweet version of peach. Oh, that's just so jarring. Oh, yep. We don't need to do that anymore. That's for sure. I'm going to give a little bit more here and see if I can blend it with what's on the side, what's in the spoon. That is an experiment I am 100% not repeating. Thank you very much. But no thank you even more. Okay, well, where does that leave us? So don't try to pair this with sweet stuff. It is not. It just doesn't. Some hot sauces will work well. This one is just not sweet enough. Like I said, it is more of a savory peach, if that makes any sense at all. So, in other words, rather than have a sweet peach, This has that very vibrant peach flavor, but it is in a savory and slightly astringent base. When you put it with this, it is just a flood of umami. I mean, both salt and umami both. Just very super clashy here with this, particularly because it's got that astringency behind it. If I put salt on that, I don't think I would enjoy that. I just don't think it would work. And so, I mean, it's worth, like, we try stuff, right? Not everything is going to be a success. If you look through the entirety of my content in this series, and by the way, look at every single video like 4 or 5 times each, just to make sure. But if you look at that sort of content, you'll see that not every experiment I have, sometimes I leave it open to chance. Sometimes I just kind of throw it out there and say, we'll just see what happens. Most of the time I have an idea if it's going to work or not. Not every time though. So I like to have the airman chance. I do like, the spirit of experimentation is being a food adventure is just such a massive, big deal to me, that if there's one thing I want to get across is the joy of that through these videos. Hopefully it's translating. But anyway, as to the sauce itself, yeah, I mean, savory peach. It is just, there's nothing I can think of quite like this. That most of the time when sauces get either astringent or they get sort of savory, they move away from the peach flavor. This, it's a neat trick. Like, this one actually maintains its peach flavor. And so if you have a peach sauce, but you don't really have peach flavor, and peach is very subtle, so it can get easily lost. I mean, that's just a super neat trick, I think, that they're pulling off here. And like I said, heat-wise, it's pretty moderate. You just, red jalapeno, cayenne, or bird's eye. Not setting the world on fire or anything like that. But to pair it with, the right meats, and again, I would say lighter one. I would say actually birds, not duck, but birds that have somewhat lean meat would be the way to go with this. I think that's where it works best. I am probably going to attempt it on pork, but I already know that I don't like peach paired with pork, so I don't expect that I'm going to like that much either, but I am probably going to attempt it at some point. As you can see, it's an 8-ounce bottle. I've got half of it left easy. So one of the nice things about 8 ounces is it's a lot of room to play around with it. And I want to say these are like $10 for these bottles. So definitely, if you can find some sauces from Captain Mowatt's that you like, I mean, I think there's pretty good value here to be had, unquestionably. But yeah, we'll just leave it right there. Definitely a really, really novel and unique spin on the peach sweet hots. And I have no issues at all with this as far as flavor. Definitely a very worthy entry into the category, and we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Captain Mowatt's Fuzz Hot Sauce.
Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.